I wanted to talk to you today about the subject of fear and how this impacts on imagination and creativity. Fear of failure, of being criticized, of being judged as unworthy, not being good enough. These are things we experience over our lifetime, but many of those messages come in our formative years, and that squashes our imagination and creativity. In the 1960s, George Land and a team of researchers developed an experiment to test the levels of creativity in NASA employees. But then they thought it would be a good idea to do this with children. So they did a longitudinal study on children starting from the age of 5, measuring levels of creativity. At the age of 5, the levels of creativity sat at 98%. By the time they were 10, it was 30%, 15, 12%, and in over 1 million adults tested, their creativity levels had dropped to just 2%. George Land, in an interview, joked that they had to stop the experiment because it just got too depressing. Taking on board messages like, you can't do that, that's a dumb idea, we don't do it like that around here, we've never done that before, we have no money. These are all barriers that squash our creative thinking. Can we regain our creative thinking? Yes, we can. And it's all about courage and practice, practice, practice. So the experiment that George Land did was called the alternative uses experiment. So he took something as simple as a fork out of the kitchen drawer, and participants had to come up with as many alternative uses for that implement as they could. Now, you can do this. Go and take a pencil or a pen or an implement out of the kitchen drawer or out of the garage, maybe even just a brick. Put the timer on for 2 minutes and come up with as many alternate uses for that implement as you can. Doing simple exercises like this regularly helps to develop creative thinking. It changes our perspective. It helps us to look at things from a different angle and new possibilities. Doing this is fun, it's interesting, and it's good for our overall well-being to develop our creative thinking.